Right now, the clock is ticking on the greatest wealth trap in modern financial history. While you celebrate your digital gains, the architects of the market are quietly preparing for the slaughter. The 2026 crypto winter isn't just coming, it is mathematically inevitable. Look around at the euphoria bleeding through your social media feeds. Everyone feels like a financial genius when the line only goes up, but this blinding greed is exactly what the system requires to function. You are told this time is different, that institutional adoption has eradicated the bear market forever. It is the oldest lie in finance, whispered into your ear just before the floor collapses. They want you complacent, fully invested, and heavily leveraged. Understand this brutal truth. The crypto market does not create wealth out of thin air. It is merely a mechanism for transferring money from the impatient, many, to the calculating few. Your unrealized gains are nothing but borrowed illusions. While retail investors mortgage their futures to buy the top, the smart money is already packing its bags. In the shadowy upper echelons of finance, exit liquidity is the only currency that matters, and you, sitting at your desk, are that liquidity. By late 2025, the frenzy will reach a fever pitch of toxic optimism. Even your most skeptical friends will be begging for altcoin recommendations, convinced they are missing out on generational wealth. That is the exact moment the trap springs shut. It starts subtly, a massive phantom sell wall. A sudden spike in stablecoin flows to exchanges. The warning signs flash red, but they are drowned out by the deafening roar of influencer hype. You will ignore the tremors because greed is a powerful anesthetic. Then comes the first real plunge disguised as a healthy correction. The masses chant their favorite mantra, blindly buying the dip to lower their average cost, but they are catching a falling knife dipped in poison. In the dead of night, anonymous whale wallets silently distribute billions of dollars of overvalued tokens. They convert their digital holdings into cold, hard cash while you sleep. By morning, the market structure is irreparably broken. As 2026 dawns, the macroeconomic winds abruptly shift, suffocating risk-on assets. The artificial liquidity that pumped your bags evaporates into the ether. You are left holding tokens that suddenly have no buyers. A black swan event materializes, tearing through the market's fragile psychology like a scythe. A major exchange pauses withdrawals, or a heavily leveraged protocol silently implodes. The panic isn't immediate. It builds like a pressure cooker waiting to burst. And then, the red candle of death paints the charts, wiping out trillions in a matter of hours. The support levels you trusted are pulverized as algorithmic trading bots initiate a cascade of merciless selling. You refresh your portfolio, feeling the blood drain from your face. The once deafening community chats fall terrifyingly silent. The false prophets and moon boys who promised you riches suddenly delete their social media accounts. You are entirely alone in the darkness of your financial ruin. Liquidation engines roar to life, systematically hunting down over-leveraged traders with surgical precision. Each margin call fuels the next, creating a death spiral that drags the entire ecosystem into the abyss. It is a digital massacre. You are forced to confront the brutal mathematics of a 90% drawdown. A coin that drops by 90% must surge by 1,000% just for you to break even. Your dream of financial freedom transforms into a generational prison. Desperation sets in as you watch years of hard-earned savings incinerate before your very eyes. You experience the 5 stages of grief in fast forward, paralyzed by the sheer magnitude of the loss. The screen becomes a mirror reflecting your own hubris. You realize the painful truth too late. The hold on for dear life narrative was weaponized against you. It is simply a psychological cage built by institutions so you won't sell before they do. You were told to be brave, but you were just being played. The final stage of the collapse is capitulation, the darkest as hour of the bear market. Broken, exhausted, and sick with regret, you finally press the sell button just to make the pain stop. Ironically, you sell at the exact absolute bottom. the market enters a prolonged, suffocating crypto winter, a barren wasteland of dead projects and shattered egos. For months or even years, the chart simply drifts sideways into irrelevance. The mainstream media declares crypto officially dead. But in this desolate silence, a tiny fraction of the market is completely unfazed. A quiet minority watches the devastation not with despair, but with predatory anticipation. They are the 1%, and they have been waiting for this exact moment. These elite investors didn't succumb to the euphoria of 2025. They ruthlessly secured their profits. They stacked their stablecoins and retreated to the safety of cold storage. Their portfolios are shields of armor, completely immune to the carnage. They understood that mastering the crypto market requires mastering one's own psychology. While you were blindly consuming hype, they were studying macroeconomics and historical cycles. They suppressed their human instinct to be greedy. Now, as blood fills the digital streets, they step out of the shadows with immense capital. They are systematically accumulating your surrendered assets for fractions of a penny. The wealth hasn't evaporated, it has simply changed hands. They target the foundational infrastructure, the blue chip networks, and the protocols that will survive the apocalypse. They aren't gambling on meme coins. They are quietly buying the future of finance at an 80% discount. This is how dynasties are built. The brutal cycle of hype, greed, and collapse is a perfectly engineered machine. It requires a constant influx of naive participants to burn as fuel for the wealthy. If you don't recognize the machine, you are already inside it. The 2026 bear market will not be a tragedy for everyone. For the prepared minority, it will be the greatest financial opportunity of the decade. The only difference between a victim and a victor is anticipation. You have a critical choice to make right now before the frenzy blinds you again. You can continue to act as exit liquidity for billionaires and nameless whales, or you can choose to elevate your mindset and play their game. Start taking profits when your greed tells you to double down. Build a fortress of cash reserves and prepare to be fiercely patient. When the inevitable crash comes, you must be the predator, not the prey. The storm clouds of 2026 are already gathering on the horizon, obscured by the blinding light of the current bull run. Do not let your ego convince you that you can outsmart gravity. The collapse is coming and it will be merciless. Prepare your strategy today. Master your emotions and join the silent minority who will conquer the crash. Or do nothing and become just another ghost story of the 2026 crypto winter. The choice is yours.